Hey, this Omar and yeah, just quick thoughts on the Ime Udoka's suspension. You know, like shaking I'm shaking my head on that, you know what I'm saying? It ain't making no sense to me at all. Like, I don't understand it, and I guess, some shit you ain't intended to understand, like, you find yourself in a position where you fucking grind and shit, like grind hard. And I mean, him becoming a head coach is is rare. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he African American and shit. They don't really give opportunity, even though it's a league that's mostly black. But those positions that you get, normally you always get a fucked up position, and they want you to, like, work a miracle to try to bring a bad organization back to respectability. And so, he grinded under Pop, coming up the ranks. And I mean, his basketball IQ is up there. You know what I'm saying? Like, he know his shit. He go from there, go to Philly, do his time with Philly, go to Brooklyn, doing this thing, still, putting his imprint, as far as like it's the little particular things that he do that, where he's an asset to any coaching staff that he gets on. So he go to Boston, and at first, Boston started off kind of hazy, you feel me? Because they still was, had the remnants of Brad Stevens, you feel me, for all those years. And then you could see his toughness started to come into play, the way you could see even Jason Tatum was getting better. Jaylen Brown, he always was that dog, but it's like you could see Jalen, Jason started going harder and stuff like that, and you could tell the difference or whatever, even just in, strategy, just like you could see when it's the game's on the line and you gotta draw up a play and shit like that, or you gotta do certain defenses and shit. You could see like he's really good at that and shit. And you notice the difference with Boston. Like, people sometimes forget that, Boston faced Brooklyn, the first time they got swept. Or it did whatchamacallit, Boston won one game and shit like that. And then it was a 5 game series. And then the following year, Udoku go. He you could tell probably certain shit that, okay, KD probably like to get to this spot. And so, you gotta press him a certain type of way. Like, when you around a guy for a year, you kind of know the shit that he like to do, and the spots he like to get to. So and if if a guy like to be, that he can work through somebody being physical with him and shit. And so Boston came with that physicality, and then they swept them out of there and shit. But he take that team that was, all those years of, facing LeBron and shit like that, and they always got bumped. And then they finally got over the hump, and what I'm saying, made it to the motherfucking finals and shit. And they had a good showing of themselves. They just was up against Steph Curry, but overall, just getting there, you got over the hump. So that means, this year you had Malcolm Brogdon to that team, where they was lacking a point guard and shit like that. So, and if you know basketball, that Brogdon is solid as far as for what he do. And he can, he's better as far as probably setting up the offense, as opposed to, Marcus Smart and shit like that. So he would have been, like, like just seeing how they would have incorporated him to this team. That like this team is definitely a team that has potential to go all the way and win the chip. So you get this bullshit. No, it's just fucking unnecessary, man. Like I mean, even if you at work and shit, and you have people that you cool with, and cool in the sense where everybody been at work and they done seen like, fucking some wives and shit, they be, borderline inappropriate with how they move and shit. And it could just be that they just be wanting that fake validation shit or whatever, you know what I'm saying? So some might talk slick and shit. It's just seeing if they gonna catch somebody, and they, I guess it's that bait and shit. They put it out there to see if somebody gonna hop on that shit. But you as a dude, and a black man, you just supposed to be on top of your shit, man. You a top tier coach, so you getting top tier salary and shit, man. You ain't supposed to let that shit go south off of no fucking female, man. I mean, that's like that's the dumbest fucking shit ever. Like just even him sitting back in the cut today, if he a smoker or a drinker, he's sitting in this motherfucking spot and he gotta be like, God damn, like I really jacked that bread, man. Like, off of fucking female and shit. And so, cause he ain't gonna be dumb enough to put the shit out there. So you put yourself in a position where it's either gonna be her, if she don't like say whatever the situation is cool, y'all gotta understand it. And then all of a sudden, maybe she wanna take it a next step further and you saying, nah, we just, we kicking it, we just cool peoples and shit. And all of a sudden she gonna run her mouth to the fucking higher ups and say like, yeah, this motherfucker doing that. Or it could have been her folks and shit. Like we don't know. Like it could have been her husband found out that, yeah, it's somebody at work that's doing that shit that she kicking it with. And if the dude fucking hurt and don't know no better, he gonna fucking, you know, he gonna just like do some female shit, so I think he kind of, he put himself in a bad spot the way they might do him like Mark Jackson, where they just blackball him, and it'll be a shame because like he knows basketball. He's a great coach, and he was like sky was the limit. Like if he would have parlayed last year into another finals appearance, like that would have been like saying a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it was very much so possible, and so that's a big opportunity squandered. And like I said, it's unfortunate because like we supposed to be hipper than that, and be on top of that shit. Even if the bitch is throwing the motherfucking ass at you at work, you already know like, yeah, this ain't the play because you know, I could fuck my fucking cash flow up. You know what I'm saying? And you can't do that shit under no circumstances. Not for nobody at the motherfucking job and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you just gotta be smarter than that, man. Just anybody out there, they already should know, that's just a no fucking go. You feel me? And the only way is a go is if the day is today your last day and shit. Today or this week your last week, then maybe you could make a play on that shit and then, get that shit off like that. But you supposed to just know, man. Like, nah, man, I don't give a fuck. Hey, the bitch could be badder than your motherfucking folks in the house, and you just supposed to know, like, yeah, this just, this ain't going to work. It never worked. You feel me? And because like I said, somebody gonna run their fucking mouth. It never fails. Somebody either gonna run their mouth or somebody that might have wanted to have that situation with you, get jealous and get wind of that shit and they fucking snitch. So it's a variety of factors that, it's once you start getting down like that, is out of your hands where it's like, it ain't in your control no more. You lost control. Normally when you kicking it with them, you want to be the one in control. So you lose your fucking control, the aspect when you dealing with somebody like that, because it's a lot of unpredictableness and there's a lot of fucking unstable shit. So you just gotta just know when it's money time and it's time to fucking make money, that's all you gotta be on and shit. You know, when it's play time and you wanna just do your fucking thing, you do that shit at the right time and shit. But you can't mix the two, you know what I'm saying? You know, it never worked like that, you know what I'm saying? You know, unless you maybe I guess what, a goddamn porn star or something, maybe. But usually, you know, it don't work out in your motherfucking favor and shit. So, you know, I hope he get back. You know, he gotta, you know, sit down. He get put on ice for a motherfucking year, and then you know, hopefully, you know, next year, you know, because he would have did some stupid shit, they probably gonna try to force him to do some dumbass you know, like when you try to, you know, if you cheat on your folks, they try to make you go to rehab because they think you got a condition and shit. So it might be some situation like that where, you know, he got to do some dumbass shit like that, you know, to show everybody that he's remorseful and shit. But, you know, hopefully he can get back up, you know, either the following year or, you know, the year after that, because he is a good coach and that, you know, the league needs something like that. You know what I'm saying? Ain't none of them people perfect and shit. All of them got bones in they fucking closet and shit. So they don't gotta make it seem like this motherfucker was out here killing people and shit. You know what I'm saying? He just was kicking it with a fucking coworker. You know, that if anything, that just, you know, that was just a dumbass decision and shit. But, you know, aside from that, you know, ain't nobody said no ill will about the dude. So, you know, hopefully he can get back up off of this. You know what I'm saying? Just be a learning experience. You know, you got to go through a teachable moment for a lot of other people out here. You know what I'm saying? So that's just my quick thoughts on that. Thank you for listening.